Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Sagittarius energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be what people who are harnessing some high vibe Sagittarius energy are doing in their life. And the bottom row is going to be with some people who aren't harnessing the same Sagittarius energy as you, what they're doing in their life. High vibe Sagittarius is people, well, the reason for your reading is the Five of Cups. Something didn't work out and you were sad. And what did you do? You put in work and effort to gain insight and wisdom about the situation, to stay balanced within yourself, to love yourself and believe in yourself with the Queen of Pentacles. You emotionally nurtured yourself. You invested getting balance within yourself so you didn't tip in your shadow nature, weren't indulging in your fear, your insecurity, your pride, your ego, your competitive self pity, envy, jealousy, revenge nature. And in the Queen of Wands, you decided to take some bold, brave, confident action and loving yourself and believing in yourself, because the Queens in Tarot can talk about our emotional state. The Queen of Pentacles would be about putting in work and effort to know your worth and value, to invest in yourself. The Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, about putting in that work and effort every day, because that's masculine energy. And we all take action in the world in masculine energy because our emotional, intuitive realms, like our hidden realm. So you put in work and effort about the fact that something didn't work out the way you wanted it to. You offered yourself a cup of love to get out of feeling like you'd missed an emotional opportunity in order to maintain balance in your life. Emotionally, you did the work to know your worth and value. Emotionally, you chose to be in life giving energy, high vibe Leo energy, like the sun, like the divine. I choose to be in life giving energy. I choose to treat myself with love and compassion and kindness and forgiveness, and to believe in myself that I can have a new beginning. And then in the King of Cups, you took action in the world based on love and belief in yourself and belief in your dreams to get yourself unstuck in the Hangman. And how do we get ourselves unstuck? We offer love to ourselves. And Pisces Hangman is about, I need to expand my perception of myself and the world around me and what I believe is possible, to look at life from a different perspective. And then in the Seven of Wands, you had inner conflict here. The Five of Wands is about having inner conflict. And you took creative, inspired action to get out of your inner conflict about the situation, to get out of your ego about it, and to take some bold, brave, confident action to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. Basically, I'm not going to give up on my dreams just because some other people in the world didn't have the same dream that I had, aren't inspired and motivated by the same things I am. And you're in the high vibe row, you have hope and faith and belief in your dreams and operating from a foundation of love. There's other people you could have been working with who keep staying in the energy of being in regret about the past, but they don't ever put in the work and effort to get out of their regrets about the past to be more balanced within themselves. They don't offset their fears, their insecurities, their past pain and heartbreak by self reflecting on why those relationships didn't work out. You know, if relationships didn't work out in the past, we have to see the truth. Virgo is about putting in work and effort to see the truth. Why didn't those relationships work out? Is there some things within me that I need to work on? Do I need to grow and mature myself? Was I in my shadow nature? Was I selfish? Was I greedy? Was I prideful? Was I egotistical? Was I codependent? Was I lazy? Was I immature? Was I indulgent? Or was I self centered? You know, we have to be willing to see the truth. And, I need to deal, the only person I can control is me. Was I any of those things? And then we also have to be willing to see the truth about other people in our life. Were they any of those shadowy ways of being? Some people never deal with why those relationships didn't work out because Some of them don't want to see the truth about how they contributed to it not working out. Some of them take it personally when other people are unkind, unloving, unjust, manipulative, prideful, self centered, egotistical, or whatever. And they never see the truth about those people, that those people weren't maybe very loving people. They're maybe kind of selfish and greedy or kind of prideful. And some people just keep staying in regret. We get in relationships with people and we can both be in a place of sadness. If both people are willing to put in work and effort to deal with the regrets of the past, and some of you might be doing that, to to get the justice we deserve. I have been sad in the past. I had relationships that didn't work out. Oh, were you sad? Did you have relationships that didn't work out? Okay. Are you willing to put in work and effort to try to offset your fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, to be more balanced in a relationship, to be just and fair, or to work with other people who are just and fair? If we've worked with people before who weren't just and fair, are you willing to work with someone who's just and fair? Some people aren't. Some people like to keep being indulged in their sadness, and you're not supposed to expect them to offset their fear and insecurities or whatever. You're just supposed to keep indulging them in a relationship. We can get in relationships, we can do the work and effort, we can listen to our intuition, we can all grow and mature ourselves, we can all make decisions out of love, we can all try to expand our perception, we can try to, put in work and effort to try to see things from other people's perspectives and keep defending a relationship. Some people are doing that in a relationship. Some people might be coming to get in a relationship with you because that's the type of people they want to work with, and maybe before they weren't working with people like that. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe you worked with people who made you sad, and now you want to work with more of the just, bold, brave, confident people. And then if we want to keep working in that relationship and we value it and we have that same dream and desire to be in, we're both motivated to put in work and effort to maintain balance within ourselves, not tipping into, well, I just want it my way. Well, I like to be manipulative and selfish and greedy. We all have to put in work and effort to maintain our balance so we don't tip into our more shadowy, all about me nature, or my self pity nature or whatever. Everybody has to put in the work and effort to emotionally grow and mature themselves, and willing to listen to their intuition and be open and authentic and warm and loving and take action based on what their loving intuitive nature is telling them to do. Some people are just doing this work within themselves right now, and maybe listening to their intuition about people in their life. That the kings in tarot can also talk about people acting out of their egoic nature. And you and other people in the world could know that there's people in the world who wear a false mask. They do operate more out of their ego. They're either prideful and egotistical, or they're emotionally defensive, or they just have issues that they don't deal with that makes them operate more out of ego than being just and fair and balanced and open and honest and loving and authentic in relationships. They present themselves as loving family people, but it's really just more of a facade. They're really, the hangman in shadow too can be people who are operating out of ego. Could be people who feel stuck. The Seven of Wands in shadow can be people who are defensive. They're in their ego. If you're in a relationship right now or getting in a relationship right now, both of you or you are learning that you need to turn your back to people who might try to stop you from moving forward in your life. People who wear a false mask, people who are prideful and egotistical, maybe just have a point to prove to someone else in the world, and are defensive. And as you move forward in your life, in a relationship or not in a relationship, you're going to listen to your intuition about people who are like that, who harness these energies in a shadowy way, and people who harness these energies in a high vibe way. People who really do take action in the world based on love. Some of you, if you're not in a relationship and you're moving forward, you're going to come across people in your life and you have to listen. It's part of the game of life. God's given you a superpower if you're willing to listen to it. Are you willing to put in work and effort to maintain your balance so you don't take action? People will try to appeal to you emotionally. They'll try to appeal to your worldly nature. You know, your maybe want for stability, security, you know, a new job. You know, the Queen of Pentacles can mean a lot of things. Be part of a group, to be part of an organization, to want to maybe be a marriage partner. And again, the queens talk about our emotional state, so it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Some people will try to tempt you in your ego, in your fiery nature, in your lust, in your greed, in your ego, in your competitive nature. Some people who are kind of prideful and egotistical will try to stop you from, in their ego nature, they're going to present themselves as a loving family person because they feel stuck and they're defensive and they don't want you to believe in yourself and listen to your intuition and see life from a different perspective and stand up for yourself, because if they're in shadowy energy, they won't be able to indulge in a relationship with you for their own shadowy reasons. I'm competitive, I'm prideful, I'm egotistical. Getting in a relationship with you would be good for my ego or my image or my status or, you know, materialistically or something, you know. And right now I feel stuck and I'm defensive and I want to get in a relationship with someone who seems like, you know, they're very just and fair and nurturing and loving and supportive. That would be good for my ego and my image. It would make me look, you know, like they won or something, you know. But they could also harness shadowy Sagittarius energy. They're up in your road just because they exist in the world. You're going to come across people like that. The divine is, it could be someone who left you in regret in the past. Or there's someone who's sad about a relationship that didn't work out. We don't want people coming to get in a relationship with us because they're in their ego that a different relationship didn't work out. We don't want to get in a relationship with people because they're sad because a relationship didn't work out, because they're prideful and egotistical and they're manipulative and controlling and they use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship. Who could have done that, now they feel stuck because they were defensive and were unwilling to try to see things from other people's perspective. We're unwilling to be more bold and brave and confident and open and honest and authentic and loving. That people left their lives, so now they want to get in a relationship with you. As you move forward in your life, you also might meet some people who harness these energies in a high vibe way. They see you as someone who is no longer in regret about the past. You did this work within yourself to love and believe in yourself and nurture yourself and invest in yourself emotionally to get the justice you deserve, which is to be in that energy within yourself. And there's other high vibe people in the world who are intuitive that you're not somebody who's in shadowy energy. You are balanced. You're not someone who is petty and envious and jealous and competitive and manipulative and whatever, and they would like to be in a relationship with you. They also have seen life from a different perspective. And if they had been moving forward in their life in a way that they knew if they kept moving forward in that way, or what they were moving forward with, or who they were moving forward with, that they were going to end up stuck and probably end up defensive. Why would they keep moving forward in something? Were they in there? You know, we can all go through life. Say, if this is someone who kind of, in high vibe, was someone who kind of maybe had been a little further ahead on the game of life than you. It could have been someone that you rejected before that you didn't get in a relationship with, or you ended a relationship with them because you had some lessons to learn yourself, and they could have been sad that you went and got in a relationship with someone else, and whatever. And now that you've gotten out of it and you've put in work and effort, you they could now want to get back in a relationship with you because they see you're out of that other relationship, that you're not sad about that past relationship, that you've put in work and effort to know your worth and value. When you weren't in a relationship with them, they could have gotten in their own relationship, and they could have realized that if they kept moving forward in that relationship, they might have been doing it more out of pride and ego and defensiveness because the relationship didn't work out with you in the past, or just the next person they got in a relationship with is someone who, maybe you both got in relationships with people who never deal with their past pain and heartbreak, and you could both be people who do. And so now some of them might be working up their courage as you're moving forward in your life to make you an offer, because they realize if they keep living their life the way they've been, they're going to feel stuck and maybe defensive in whatever they're in. So instead, they'd rather move forward with you, temper their own fears and insecurities, especially if it's someone who a relationship didn't work out with in the past. And the Hangman also is Pisces energy, is about having a dream. And it is about seeing life from a different perspective. And they might want to stand up for themselves and you, to both protect you from people in your life who caused you sadness and regret. And they don't want to move on without you because they feel like they will be left in regret. And just like that could be someone with you. Some of you could have done that. You could have gotten out of one relationship or job, whatever, and you were moving forward and you realize that, wait a minute, is there someone I maybe missed an opportunity with that you view as someone who puts in work and effort, who knows their worth and value emotionally, who's nurturing and supportive and encouraging and would be a good partner, who you think is very just and fair and balanced within themselves? You might have communicated to them. And right now, you could be waiting in the Hangman to see if the other person, is going to put in work and effort to work with you or not. And if they're not, you're giving it time, a little bit of time, and we listen to our intuition. We don't want to take impulsive action, but we also, people kind of show us where they're at based on the action that they take. And some of the people that you might have reached out to might have some of their own things going on here. Are they willing to move forward with you or not? And, if not, is to be bold and brave. That's like, I've got a dream. I'm not reaching out to people because I feel stuck and because I'm defensive of loving and believing in myself. If I did miss an opportunity, I was willing to inquire about it to see where you are at. If we're not on the same page, well, that's a bummer, but I'll move on. I'll keep moving on. I'll deal with the fact that, okay, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Okay. Now, let's go see about some people in shadowy energy. And I don't know. I don't think I got a reason for their reading. Okay. So people in shadowy right now, we have the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Two of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Ten of Cups. And the reason for their reading, I think I'll lay them down here. The reason for their reading is the Six of Cups. Well, for one, we could have all gotten, I had to kind of chuckle to myself because I kind of saw another story here earlier when I was talking about something. But sometimes we can be in relationships with people, and it seems like it's great that everybody's putting in work and effort to be just and fair and nurturing and supportive. But then someone, because of their kind of emotional attachment, either to the past, maybe the way they always viewed life and how, and if they're kind of more aligned with their egoic nature, more about money and materialism and status and image, there's a lot of people in the world, not just you, one person, we can get in relationships with people like that. And then, well, again, you could have been in relationships where one person was more connected in with their emotions and their intuition and more investing in the relationship because of from a foundation of love, maybe. The other person could have been putting work and effort into it because their long-term goal was to, have these things in life. I want the things I think I deserve. I want to be in a just and fair relationship. I want to be in a relationship with a nurturing, loving, supportive partner. But are they really operating from a foundation of love? Some people could have, or you could have been insightful and harnessing high vibe Virgo energy, putting in work and effort to get the justice you deserve, but the person you were in a relationship emotionally could have kind of harnessed shadowy Queen of Pentacles energy, where they're more emotionally invested in operating from their egoic nature, and you didn't realize that they were kind of wearing a false mask, and that false mask was blocking you from seeing that they really do operate more from pride and ego, and they could be defensive of moving forward in relationships because they could be defensive because relationships in their past haven't worked out before, and so that kicked them up into operating more from their ego. But they wear this false mask in order to get people in relationships with them. But then when they're in the relationship, they're kind of defensive because they're always afraid that other people are going to leave them, So basically, they're not offsetting their more fearful, insecure nature to love and believe in themselves and invest in people and believe in love. They're always afraid of a relationship not working out. And so then they basically can kind of sabotage a relationship for some of them. And then there's other people that you could have worked in a relationship or working within a relationship who present themselves as being like a nurturing, supportive person in relationships or a job, but they really do operate more from pride and ego. They just wear this kind of false mask, but they really do operate more from pride and ego and defensiveness. And as you move forward in those type of relationships, you realize that I feel like I'm missing an opportunity in love here. I don't feel like people were authentically being who they said they were and who they presented themselves to be. And then those people that are kind of shadowy are kind of turning their back on your being loving because you want them to see life from a different perspective. You want them to be more bold and brave, to be more, take some action about their past pain and heartbreak so that they'll keep moving forward with you in a relationship. But people who are defensive or kind of like to be more manipulative in relationships, or this is kind of their MO where they wear this false mask and then they kind of are defensive and manipulative, and they just hope that you'll keep staying stuck in the relationship or the job, and you'll feel stuck about standing up for yourself and maybe leaving this relationship or this job and putting in work and effort to get the justice you deserve, to know your worth and value and be bold and brave enough to say, I have tried to be loving and encouraging to you people, and you just keep operating from pride and ego and defensiveness. I've seen the truth, and I don't want to keep staying somewhere where all I'm going to do is be left in regret. So Some of you are going to maybe get a new job. You're listening to your intuition. If where you have been, is not very balanced, that some people have some inner work to do that they're maybe too prideful and egotistical to do or admit about themselves, you are standing up for yourself. If it's work related, if it was relationship and you were in a relationship and all of a sudden, it seemed like things took a turn, it's because the other person kind of exchanged their core foundation that they work from. And the reason could be there could have been other shadowy people who saw that you were working on a relationship where it looked like your dreams are going to come into reality. And some other people could have been envious and jealous of that. So they presented a false mask to the person you were in a relationship with and could have said, I feel stuck and I'm defensive and I'm sad and I feel like I missed an opportunity with you. And the person you were in a relationship could have gotten in their ego about it. And it's like, should I keep moving forward in this relationship? If I keep staying in this relationship, I do have to be bold and brave and loving. And I do have to deal with my past. I have to keep growing and maturing myself, basically. And I have to be willing to look at life from a different perspective instead of, from my more worldly nature or egoic nature. And I would also maybe have to take some more bold, brave, confident action if I stay in relationship with insightful, nurturing, loving, balanced people. But if this person is willing to get in a relationship with me, where I maybe don't have to do any of that work, I might just switch foundations and quit working with these people and decide to work with these people. I maybe did miss an emotional opportunity with those people. And I might be kind of sad that I'm leaving these people, but if I don't have to put in the work and effort, and it happens within themselves first. And why did it happen? Because the divine knew the truth. The divine knew that maybe this person, you could look at the Six of Pentacles as kind of juggling back and forth. Am I aligned with my more worldly nature? Or am I more aligned with my loving, intuitive nature? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of like a big juggling, but it's a whole big juggling of like your core foundation of belief and philosophy of life. And some people completely, and the reason I say it started within themselves first is we all manifest things into reality. And if you were in a relationship with someone and you were putting in work and effort to know your worth and value and be more balanced within yourself, and you had dealt with some of your past pain and heartbreak, well, someone who was in your life who kind of could have been indulging emotionally being in a relationship with you, and they really truly are someone who wears a little bit more of a false mask, and they might be someone who presents themselves as a loving family person, but they kind of use their emotions manipulatively in relationships because they have these unresolved issues that make them kind of operate more from their egoic nature than their more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And when they were in a relationship or are currently in a relationship with you, depending on where you are at in the storyline, they could have felt a little stuck. Because in order to keep moving forward with you, they might have had to stand up to some people in their life or just against their more egoic, shadowy nature. And they weren't sure if they wanted to do that because they would have had to deal. Well, and also, we all have to make choices in life. If people choose to get in a relationship with people A, you can't be in a relationship with people B, right? And some people are like, oh, I don't know, I kind of think I could have missed an opportunity with someone else. And I'm kind of in my ego about it, and I don't know if I want to give up on those. Well, they manifested that into reality. Yeah, the Queen of Wands can be like the other man, other woman, and we can all be tempted every day, right? We can all go out in the world, and there's all sorts of people we can get in trouble with if we want. Some people subconsciously were manifesting that. I'm waiting for someone else who's sad to make me an offer because I feel stuck in a way in the relationship I'm with, because being in the relationship with people who are insightful and intuitive and loving and balanced, I can't emotionally manipulate them. you know, I can't, when we're in our shadow energy, if we have fear, insecurity, codependency, if we're kind of immature, if we're fearful and afraid, if we're lustful and greedy or whatever, people can manipulate us based on those things. And if you were being in good energy, there was someone who even could have gotten in their ego about that because you had done the work to heal from your past pain and heartbreaks and disappointments, and they hadn't. And again, sometimes some people who present themselves, because see, they're presenting themselves as being further along the road than you, like as if they're kind of like more successful or something than you. And they could have felt, but it might be because of this false mask that they wear. And maybe the social games and stuff that they play, because the Queen of Wands and ego and stuff can be about, playing the social games of life in order to seem like they're further along in life than you are. And some of them, your light could have irritated their demons, because you really, you really are what they tried to create the illusion of being, and that could have gotten them in their ego. And then for some of them, they're just kind of more worldly focused, and they didn't want to have to do the same work that you did to move forward with you, because they're defensive of dealing with their past pain and heartbreak or whatever. So they could have decided to exchange foundations because they manifested the other man, other woman coming into their life. At which point they exchanged foundations, because emotionally, the queen of, we've all got lessons to learn emotionally. You can get relationships and you keep staying like in a bad relationship or repeating past patterns because I love them. Some people have some issues from their past that they still have to deal with, that they haven't resolved, or they like living life the way they've always lived it and they don't want to do their life any differently. So they wanted to move forward with a dream where they didn't have to get out of their ego and take more bold, brave, confident action in their life. Some people emotionally had their own ideas of how they wanted to move forward in life and how they envisioned being in the world and what type of relationship they planned to be in. And some of them always planned, you know, could have always been people who hid that they are happy kind of repeating these patterns of the past. And maybe the Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. In shadow, it can be people who their underlying philosophy of life, of how they view the world, how they view themselves, how they view relationships, is more worldly focused. I love working with the things of the world. I would rather do that and make my life more about conforming to the world and making my life about, let's get in a relationship for the status and the image and the money and the stability and all those things, and we're good. You know, let's not listen to our intuition. There doesn't have to be a higher truth or justice to aspire to. If the world tells us that we can live our life this way and, just keep living it the way we've lived it, we don't have to see life from a higher perspective. We don't have to be bold and brave and confident. We don't have to see things. We don't have to deal with our past issues. Let's just work with the world, and let's get in the relationship and have the status and the image and the money and the materialism and be good. You know, I think that'll make me happy. That's how I've always viewed living life. Some people had never planned to look at life from any other perspective. You know? High Vibe Sagittarius is looking at life as an adventure to be lived. That we all live in the world. We all want stability and security, and we'd all like to enjoy the finer things in life. But is that going to be the driving factor in our life? Is that going to be good for our image? Is that going to make us more money? Are those people good for our status and image? Should we be friends with them or shouldn't we? You know, I mean, life's an adventure to be lived. We're meant to be free. We're meant to be free from our more egoic nature. We're meant, I think, to listen to our intuition. And our intuition would tell us that we're probably being kind of selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical doing our life this way. You know, life's about shedding some of those layers of ourself to be more bold and brave and confident, to shine our light in the world, to offer love to the world, to maybe try to help other people in the world and help other people see life from a different perspective and expand their perception of themselves and what's possible. Because the whole thing is, human beings manifest the world we live in. You know, look how much the world has changed in the last 3,000 years. You know, from back in Jerusalem Bible time days, you know, and before that, caveman days, and to now. You know, all these things and the way society and things of the world that we have, from boats to cars to cell phones to airplanes to surgery and, you know, all these things, none of those things existed. People listened to their intuition, and they were bold and brave enough to deal with their self-limiting beliefs, to take action on their intuition, to look at life from a different perspective and believe what could be. And they took bold, creative action in their life, and to stand up for themselves, to believe, you know, that there's more, you know, and life is about constantly evolving and changing. I mean, who 3,000, 2,000 years ago could imagine we'd be indoor plumbing, indoor light bulbs, people flying in airplanes, people going to the moon, people having these portable phones? You know, we've all been given unique talent, skills, and interests, things that we really enjoy, things that are uniquely ours that might be different from everyone else in our family, in our friend group, in our community, in the world. You know, look at how music has changed. Look how art has changed. It's all to try to help people believe in what's possible, to not give up on your dreams, to inspire people and motivate people by doing what we love and expanding our perception and standing up for ourselves can help motivate and inspire other people to let go of their past pain and heartbreak and regrets, and to put in work and effort to get the justice they deserve, to be at peace within themselves, to let the past go. Everybody was where they were at, you know, to love and believe in ourselves, to give ourselves everything that we wish other people would have given us, so we can heal that wound, so we'll no longer be attracted to being in a relationship with people who are unloving or unkind or prideful or egotistical or fake or whatever. And we keep moving forward because we're all manifesting our dreams into reality. And if we'd like the world to be a better place, it'd be nice to help other people believe in their dreams. But anytime, you know, maybe even only for a short period of time, you know, some people might be tempted to swap foundations. And the whole point of it could be is because you could be the one who's more motivated and inspired to love and believe in yourself. And if the divine knew that this person wasn't on the same page, you deserve to work with other people who are on the same page as you, because for all you know, you might change the world, you know? But some people hide the fact, well, some people could have communicated to someone else that, and someone could have had someone communicate to them. And if someone was kind of in shadowy energy, They could have just been happy that someone was willing to exchange resources with them, because that's what the Six of Pentacles can mean. Like, oh my gosh, they're willing to exchange time, energy, and effort with me. Or it could be things of the world, their hugs, their kisses, their sex, you know? And some people got caught up in their ego. Some people were hiding that they're more materialistically driven and they think that's what will make them happy. We all make the free will choice. Do I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams? Do I believe that I can manifest stability in everything in my life and still operate from a foundation of love? Do I trust love? Do I believe in love? Some people are wearing a false mask the whole time and they don't even believe in love or trust love or anything. They could be very worldly focused, but they work together with people that might seem nurturing and supportive because it makes them look like they're in a just and fair relationship, and it'll work out as long as the people they're in relationship aren't healing from some of their issues, and growing and maturing themselves, because the other people maybe don't want to deal with any of their issues to move forward in life with you. And so some of those people, didn't end up moving forward with you in your life. And it's kind of a continually cycling in our life with people. Are we on the same page? Are we both going to put in work and effort to not act out of our ego? Are we both going to keep working on our issues that bubble up? Because I think we're like an onion that has layers and layers of our egoic, shadowy, selfish, I want it my way. Oh, this triggered a past pain and heartbreak that I didn't even know I had. And things get triggered within us. Is everybody willing to put in that work and effort to illuminate the truth, to work through their issues, to keep moving forward in love, keep expanding their perception? If so, those are the type of people that you keep moving forward in life. And when you get in relationships with people like that, those are the people you move forward in life. And there could be some people who aren't moving forward with you right now. There could be new people who want to come into your life, whether you're in a relationship or not, that want to work forward with you, move forward with you. And there's going to be people throughout our life at different times that are not going to move forward with us because they kind of got, either they weren't being authentic to begin with, or something got triggered in them that brought up an issue that made them defensive. And people have the free will to do the work and effort within themselves to gain insight and wisdom of, why am I being defensive? Why am I being triggered by this? What is it about it that's triggering me? And they either put in the work to be bold and brave and invest in love and offer love to the situation and within themselves, to see life differently and expand their perception, and then they keep moving forward with the people they're in a relationship with, or they don't. And they swap foundations because there's an attachment to an old dream, a way of viewing life that they weren't willing to let go of. And at the time we do that, whenever we operate out of our pride and ego, in a way, I think to a degree, we could be hiding that it made us happy. Because if we're defensive of moving forward in whatever we were, even if people were being loving and supportive and encouraging, if we weren't ready to do the work at that time, or we weren't ready to see the truth or deal with the truth, we're going to be happy to be relieved of having to deal with it. Even though we might be sad that some other relationships moved on without us, the fact that if we are defensive and we really don't want to deal with it right now, secretly it could have made us happy to swap foundations, and get in relationships with some other people, because we're still emotionally attached to the past in some way. So some people could have had that happen, but high vibe people are the ones right now putting in the work and effort to love and believe in themselves. Any of those people in the world could be in relationships and have people that they're currently in relationship with that are defensive that people in their life are loving and believing in themselves. because that means they're going to have to work with their issues. It could be kicking up their demons and their competitive nature because they liked it better when these people were sad and just wearing a false mask, as when they were in their ego and their fear and insecurity, the more shadowy people could manipulate and control them. Some people have been in relationships who keep manipulating and controlling them and making them sad, and it's all a tactic to keep them defensive of moving forward and getting in a relationship with someone else. And so then we're defensive, we keep staying in the relationship. And I think, for the people right now that are willing to harness their high vibe Sagittarius energy, those people are going to put work and effort in. We can't change other people. That's fine. I'm going to put work and effort to make sure I love and believe in myself. I don't want to be sad anymore. I'm going to figure out why I'm sad. Some of those people might figure out that it's the people in their life. You're not being open and authentic and warm and giving. And before, I might have put up with it because maybe I didn't think I deserved it, because I hadn't learned to love and believe in myself. And some of those people are doing the work now. And they will take more bold, brave, confident action within themselves to love themselves and see life from a higher perspective, a different perspective, and they'll stand up for themselves. And it'll be kind of clear that there's some people in their life who aren't dealing with their issues. And some of those people will act in all sorts of ways to try to cause the loving people in their life to be hurt. And that's when people will really get clear about the truth. This isn't love. You're being manipulative, you're being prideful, you're being stubborn, you're being false and fake. And I know it's because you got some issues to deal with. But if I have been putting in work and effort to be just and fair and nurturing and supportive, and you keep, because we have the free will to be open and honest and loving and truthful and vulnerable, or for some reason, it's like in our ego, we think we know better. It's like, I know. Instead of doing that, because I maybe don't want to live life that way, or I maybe don't want to be just and fair, or I want to wear my false mask, or I want to be able to emotionally manipulate people, I know. The devil thinks, I know, I have a better idea. I'm going to do things that are hurtful and unkind and be defensive and prideful and egotistical and stubborn and all these things. And I don't think you'll love and believe in yourself. You won't be able to withstand the storm. Some of those people are going to find out that the loving, nurturing people are going to basically tell them, I am the storm. You thought you were going to try to bring a storm in my life, basically to be unloving, to defeat me, to crumble my foundation, to not make me love and believe in myself. Well, guess what I do? And that is going to be a tower foundation for them, even though we don't have the tower card out here. The shadowy people are going to see that you exchange foundations, because you didn't know it. Some of you didn't know it, that you were in a relationship with shadowy people. Shadowy people had you emotionally investing in moving forward with them in a dream, and they were secretly happy that you weren't listening to your intuition, that you weren't loving and believing in yourself, that you were paying more attention to nurturing and investing the relationship, which they weren't equally putting in the work and effort into, instead of nurturing and loving yourself. But now you did. And you exchange foundations. And you harness these energies in a high vibe way. And you decided to love yourself and believe in yourself. In your Sagittarius energy, you took creative, inspired action to wrap your brain around this game of life about what is love and what isn't love. Am I in a relationship with people because it's more about their image or their status or their money or their materialism, or because I'm exchanging my time, energy, love, encouragement, hugs, and kisses with them? Is that why they stay in the relationship? Or is it love? And from the 8 of Wands down to the 2 of Wands, you really focused on what your dreams were, and you listened to your intuition about what would make you happy. And you realize that this job or relationship was not the victory you thought it was. It was an illusion. And we can get in relationships with people who aren't being authentic, who are hiding, that they are operating more from pride and ego and defensiveness, or because they're sad or because they're codependent, but they never put the work and effort within themselves to like get on the same page. It's kind of like indulging in a relationship with you. So long as you don't see through the illusion and you keep putting in work and effort, it's great for them, but they're not equally putting in the same work and effort to be loving and nurturing and encouraging and supportive and bold and brave and confident in love like you are. And that's how you, the people who thought you couldn't withstand the storm, that if they chose these unloving ways of being, that you'd keep investing emotionally in this dream, well, they were secretly happy that you weren't loving and believing in your dreams. Well, now you did love and believe in your dreams, and you've exchanged foundations, and you're going to go work with the other people in the world who temper their fear and their insecurity and their pride and ego and their stubbornness or whatever. People who know their worth and value, who love and believe in themselves, who truly are nurturing, loving people, who truly are emotionally bold and brave and confident and warm and giving, who truly do take action in the world based on love. Other people who've been enlightened to the truth that life's about standing up for yourself and not wallowing in your emotions or your sadness or your regrets of the past. It's about putting in the work and effort to overcome the devil, per se, and get balance within yourself to say that you deserve to have your dreams come into reality. You offer love and compassion to yourself in the past for the lessons you had to learn. You offer love and compassion to the people in your life that had lessons learned, the people in your life that still got lessons learned. I'm free of it all. It's not my burden to carry. We each have our burden to carry of winning the spiritual battle within ourselves, and some people didn't win it. Some people aren't putting in work and effort. They keep operating from their ego or their defensiveness or their fear or their insecurity or their lust or their greed or their pride or their ego. And some people will never overcome it. I accept the truth of that. It doesn't have anything to do with who I am, if I'm valuable, if I'm lovable, blah, blah, blah. If I'm being just and fair and putting work and effort to be just and fair, to not be manipulative and prideful and egotistical and immature and selfish and greedy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm being nurturing and loving, and I'm warm and I'm giving, I deserve to get the justice I deserve, which is to be in relationships with other people who have done that work within themselves. And some of the high vibe people, you're going towards people like that. Other people could be coming towards you like that. And you got to be aware there's other people in the world that are going to try to stop you because they can't indulge in a relationship with you if you keep thinking that way about yourself. And they might come and tell you that they're in regret, that now they want to offer you a cup of love. And they're hoping you haven't been kind of, normally in the hangman, it's a picture of someone hanging upside down and the light is around your head. They're hoping you're still stuck and you haven't been illuminated to the truth that they were when they didn't choose to be open and honest and loving and just and fair, that they were being prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, self-centered, defensive, and they're hoping you haven't been illuminated to the fact that you should stand up for yourself. And if you haven't, let's go another round. You know, we've all been there, and you go around in those relationships over and over again. And with some people, you do it, especially I think when you're younger, because, oh, I love them. And, you know, as you get older, sometimes if this happens later in your life, if somebody wore a good false mask, they didn't present themselves as being like immature and all these things in the world, and then it's finally seen, it's like, boom, I'm done. It's like, I have been there and I have done that, and you were a very good mask for a long time. But now that I saw it, yeah, sorry, you presented yourself and had me believing you were something different, and I like that. And I've been there, I've already done the shadowy side. No, over. You know, when you're young, you can keep going round and round with people like this. The older you get, it's like, nope, I might have love for you, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you. the way you think is just and fair to be in a relationship. I've been in relationships like that before. I don't think it's just and fair to be that way in a relationship. If you presented yourself as a shithead from the beginning, then I guess if I was willing to put up with it, I probably would have kept putting up with it. But if you present yourself as like, I have went to a new level, I'm no longer dealing with people like that, and then I get majorly disappointed because you're really just like some of those people when I was young that I dealt with. Yeah, no, no, been there, done that. Sorry. Now that the false mask slipped, I'm done. So anyway, you could have new people coming into your life and you're going to meet new people who've all done this work. There might be some people who weren't in a relationship with you before that would like to be in a relationship with you. There might be some people that are sad about a relationship. You just got to make sure it's not the new person trying to keep you stuck, who also is kind of just like the other person. Do we want to expand and grow and, be with people who are more enlightened or not? Don't want to go another round two just with a different person. So there you go, Sagittarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy. Oh, the shadowy people, the people who probably rejected loving people in their life, they could kind of love being an immature player in order to get people to exchange resources with them. That could be their dream. And they're hiding from their own loving nature and loving people in their life and loving people in the world because they really maybe now just want to be a player. I don't even want to be in a relationship with people who really want. I'm gonna create the illusion that I'm willing to bring a dream into reality, but I'm gonna hide the fact that I'm happy just that you're exchanging resources with me, and I'm never really gonna bring the dream into reality. I'm just indulging in a relationship. So there you go, Sag. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.